Hey everyone. Recently Ecmlink just updated their firmware for Ecmlink V3. This new update includes a fuel prime feature, which is one of the things that's been kind of lacking from Ecmlink for a while. In a typical car, when you turn on your key, the fuel pump will kick on for a second to prime the fuel system so you have an easier startup. And for the most part, it doesn't cause any issues, but having fuel pressure right when you start to crank over can only be better than having to wait a second or two. So this update aims to fix that by priming the fuel pump for a set number of seconds when you turn on the key. So I'm going to go and update my firmware so I can get this latest update. The first thing to do is to take your laptop or tablet, whichever you're using, and to update the software on the tablet or laptop itself. So I've already gone and done that. I went to the Ecmlink website, gone to their download page, and downloaded the latest software. So my tablet is ready to go. Now I've got it plugged into the car, and we're going to connect to Ecmlink and do the firmware upgrade. Alright, let's get on to this firmware update. You've got your USB cable hooked up, car's ready to go. Make sure your battery's fully charged. So we'll turn on the key on the car. Engine doesn't have to be running. And we'll load up Ecmlink. Alright, so this is the latest version of Ecmlink that's compatible with the fuel prime option. This is 3.36.73. This is what you need to do the fuel prime firmware upgrade. So close out of that. Now, assuming you've got everything configured to connect to your car, we'll just hit connect. Should take a few seconds and you'll be connected to the ECU. Alright, it says connected. Alright, so now we'll go up to the ECU tab at the very top. And we'll go down to the second to the bottom, which says create firmware request. It'll give you a little message here about how the process goes. Sorry, my touchpad is a little sensitive. We'll click continue. It's going to generate a unique firmware update request to your ECU. So now it's going to ask you where to save it. I'm simply going to put it on my desktop for right now. It'll be the easiest place to find it. We'll hit save. Now it gives you a little message saying everything was done correctly. The next thing to do is you can minimize Ecmlink, and we'll see the firmware request is on the desktop. So now what you need to do is, it's easiest if you have the internet connected on your laptop or tablet that you're doing the update on right now. If not, you can bring it in the house or whatever and do the update, but I've got my tablet paired with my phone so I can do the upgrade right here. So what I've done is I've pulled up the ecmlink.com website. So now we're on their website. What you'll want to do is scroll down to the very bottom of the page and you'll see firmware upgrade. And oops, damn Windows 10. There's a little link here that says firmware upgrade. There's a little link here that says firmware upgrade page. We'll click on that. And if we scroll down a little bit, we see choose file. So this here, we're going to select the file we just saved. So I save that on my desktop. Choose that file. Hit open. And you can read all the info here. And hit submit. This is going to upload the file to Ecmlink. Shouldn't take very long. Alright, so that's all done. So now we've got a link to download your new firmware. We'll click on that. It's going to save. Alright, once your file is done saving, shouldn't take very long. My connection out here is a little sketchy, so it's a little bit slow. So once we've got that done, we'll go back into Ecmlink. Everything should still be connected. We'll go back to the ECU tab. Sorry about that. And we'll go back down to upgrade to firmware. Now we're going to choose the file we just downloaded, which was saved into my default downloads folder, so I'm going to have to find that. And here's our file. We'll click on it. Now it's going to give you a little warning about the upgrade of the firmware. You want to make sure that the engine is off. This cannot be done while the engine is on. It will take a little bit. And do everything you can not to interrupt this process. Make sure your laptop or tablet has a good charge in the battery. You really don't want to be bricking your ECU. So if everything looks good, we'll click continue. It does a little check, shows you the different versions of your firmware. So I want to continue. And you should see the check engine light in your dash flashing at this point, indicating the firmware is being flashed. Alright, firmware upgrade successful. So now if everything went well, we've got the newest software and the newest firmware in the ECU. So now everything's done. The ECU is reconnected. It should have done that automatically for you. So now we'll go into ECU Config Live, and it should be in the Miscellaneous tab. Alright, so now we see Fuel Pump Prime. Post key on prime time. So here you'll enter in the number of seconds you want the fuel pump to prime prior to starting as soon as you turn the key on. That should give us full fuel pressure right away when you go to start the car. So right now the default is 0. I'm going to up this, say, to 3 seconds. I'm going to hit enter. Okay. So I'm going to shut my key off, and I'm going to turn it back on. There goes my fuel pump for 3 seconds, exactly as planned. And the car's been sitting for quite a while, so fuel pressure is obviously at 0. Normally the car would take a couple seconds to prime it up a little bit, and then we'd start no problem, but this should make everything a little bit better. Now I've actually got it set to save the settings as soon as you click on it, but if this wasn't automatically checked, you'd have to make your change in the box and then hit save. But I normally leave this one selected to save automatically. So if we set this up to, oops, key needs to be on. Now if we set this to say 5 seconds and hit save, alright, shut the key off, turn it back on, and we should hear the fuel pump run for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. So this should help a lot. I think it sounded like my system was up within about 3 seconds, so I'm going to set it back to that. And when summer gets here, I'll be able to fine-tune it to see exactly what I need. But from my understanding, 3 seconds sounds like it should be about enough. I want to give a thanks to Tom from Ecmlink Tuning from listening to the community's request and continuing to develop on this ancient platform. It's really appreciated. There's a lot of newer cars that don't get this attention. So thanks a lot, And if you have V3, I really suggest everyone go ahead and do this. So thanks for watching, and look forward to more videos soon.